On March 14th, the third UN World Conference on Disaster Risk Reduction began in the city of Sendai in northeast Japan. The objective was to determine new international guidelines for managing disaster. High-ranking officials from UN member countries and international organizations were in attendance. In conjunction, a symposium entitled Disaster Risk Reduction and International Cooperation was held, organized by JICA, the Japan International Cooperation Agency. The symposium began with a speech from the president of JICA, Akihiko Tanaka.
Japan has a long history of placing disaster risk reduction at the center of its economic and social policy. Japan has heavily invested in prevention, and it is without any doubt that mainstreaming disaster risk reduction has been the foundation of Japan's economic success.
The event then moved on to a group discussion. Panelists from countries that have been hit hard by major natural disasters spoke first. In El-Salvador, Gerson Martinez is the Minister of Public Works.
First, it would seem that nature is trying to tell us something. It's telling us that the traditional model of economic growth, which has led to the degradation of the environment, has also led to human-generated climate change. It's important that we change our way of thinking. Very important.
In the Philippines, typhoons cause major damage almost every year. Rogelio Singson is the Secretary of the Department of Public Works and Highways.
Instead of just reconstructing the road, we're using the roads in Tacloban, for example. Together with JICA, we're redesigning the road to elevate it and use it as a road dike. So these are some of the measures that really will mean prevention.
The international organizations represented included the United Nations Development Programme, the World Bank, and the European Commission. Helen Clark, former Prime Minister of New Zealand, is administrator of the UNDP.
Of all the money spent around the disaster area, 70% in immediate response, 20% on recovery, 10% on prevention. A tiny fraction of the total amount more spent on prevention would save a lot of money. And we've used the figure, $1 invested will save 7.
Akihiko Tanaka, president of JICA, also participated as a panelist.
Build Back Better concept is an idea to transform the disaster into an opportunity to make necessary prior investment. Other than, well, in addition to responding to the immediate needs, we need to utilize the disaster an opportunity to make necessary investments so that we could prevent further devastation in the future.
Rachel Kyte is a Vice President and Special Envoy for Disaster Reduction at the World Bank.
So there is an ability through this sense of needing to invest in resilience and building back better that we can build a new sense of solidarity and a new sense of coherence.
Kristalina Georgieva, formerly a Vice President at the World Bank, is European Commission Vice President for Budget and Human Resources.
We also have to think of the most vulnerable, the women, the children, the elderly, the handicapped. As we build responses, as we work on preparedness, have them in our hearts, in our minds.
In dealing with natural disasters, investment in prevention is very important. Building back better is very important. Mainstreaming disaster risk reduction is very important. And for all these, international cooperation is very, very important. Thank you very much.